Attention passionate Washington Commanders fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Washington Commanders' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Washington Commanders fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with YOUR, FRINDS, and Washington Commanders FANS. Let's get to the news in what could be one of the most seismic shifts in the NFC East in recent memory. Rumors are swirling that the Washington Commanders are making a serious push to acquire Lamar Jackson from the Baltimore Ravens. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. Sounds like just another trade rumor, right? But this isn't just idle chatter. Multiple sources with close ties to the league are indicating that the Commanders are in advanced negotiations, possibly even on the verge of finalizing a blockbuster deal that could reshape the division. And let's be honest, if this happens, it could be the kind of move that elevates Washington from a team that's been stuck in mediocrity to a true contender. So, what's the scoop? Well, according to Adam Schefter, the Commanders are in talks with Baltimore for Lamar Jackson, offering a first-round pick in the 2027 draft. The move is seen as a strategic rebuild of the offense, aiming to inject explosive playmaking at the quarterback position. Diana Rossini has also confirmed there's mutual interest, with negotiations nearing a deal, although nothing has been officially announced yet. It's a fascinating scenario because, if it comes to fruition, it signals a clear intent from Washington to be aggressive, to go all in on a player who, when healthy, is arguably the most dynamic dual-threat quarterback in the league today. Now, let's break down why Lamar Jackson might be the perfect fit for the Commanders. First, he's a former MVP, an absolute game-changer who can make defenses scramble just with his legs and his arm. His 2025 campaign was impressive. Over 900 passing yards, 28 touchdowns against just 9 interceptions, and a completion rate of 67.2%. Plus, he's rushing for more than 800 yards and 5 touchdowns, showing he's not just a pocket passer but a true dual threat. His EPA per play of plus 0.18 and a PFF grade of 90.8 speak volumes about his ability to elevate an offense. Imagine him running a scheme that maximizes his mobility. Think of the chaos he could create, especially with a talented receiver like Terry McLaurin stretching defenses. And it's not just about his stats. Lamar Jackson has the kind of leadership qualities that can transform a locker room. Although injuries in 2025 kept him out for 2 games, he remained resilient in his return, playing 88% of the snaps and showing that his body can hold up when managed properly. His career totals include over 15 passing yards, 125 passing touchdowns, more than 6 rushing yards, and 2 MVP titles. He's the kind of player who can lift a team and make everyone around him better. When you compare his impact to other quarterbacks, it's clear he brings a level of unpredictability that defenses hate facing. But why now? Well, the Ravens are in a tricky spot. They have around $28 million in cap space, but nearly $45 million in dead money, thanks to previous roster moves. After extending their head coach Harbaugh, Baltimore is facing the reality that they might need a rebuild, especially on the offensive line, which allowed 42 sacks last season. Trading Lamar could free up about $25 million to revamp their defensive line and youth movement, a smart move for a team that's been stuck in limbo with a 9-8 record in 2025. It's a classic case of a team looking for a reset, and Lamar Jackson's departure could be the catalyst for a full rebuild. Now, for Washington, the potential acquisition of Jackson is a game-changer. With around $55 million in cap space, the Commanders can afford to make this move and still have room to improve other areas. Jackson's style fits perfectly into the offensive scheme that coach Ron Rivera and offensive coordinator Eric Bieniemy want to run, an offense built around mobility, RPOs, and explosive plays. His addition would elevate the entire attack, projecting an increase of over 200 total yards and a 20% boost in EPA per pass. Imagine the kind of chaos he'd create. His ability to extend plays and scramble out of pressure would open up a lot of opportunities for McLaurin, Curtis Samuel, and even Jahan Dotson. In terms of statistics, Jackson's numbers in 2025 stand out. He threw for 912 yards, almost 700 more than what the current starter, Sam Howell, has achieved so far. And his rushing yards at 821 are nearly 220 yards more than the Commanders' current rushing attack. His 33 total touchdowns, compared to Howell's 23, highlight his ability to generate points. His mobility, which increases YAC opportunities, would transform Washington's offense into one of the most dangerous in the league. When you think about the PFF grades and his EPA metrics, it's clear he's a player who can elevate a team from good to great. What about the defense? Well, the Commanders have been steadily building a formidable unit. Last season, they tallied 52 sacks, showing they can pressure the quarterback. With Lamar Jackson, that pressure could lead to even more forced turnovers and better third-down efficiency. The combination of a strong defense and a dynamic quarterback could turn Washington into a playoff-caliber team almost overnight. Plus, with Jackson's ability to extend drives with his legs, opposing defenses would be forced to stay honest, reducing blitz packages and opening up more opportunities for the secondary to create turnovers. And let's not forget the bigger picture here. The NFL landscape is shifting, and teams that make bold moves are the ones that get into the conversation for Super Bowl glory. The Commanders, with Jackson leading the offense, could see their odds of winning a title skyrocket. Currently, their Super Bowl odds are around plus 12-0, but with a player like Jackson, those odds could shorten dramatically, potentially up to plus 4-0 or even better. This isn't just about making the playoffs. It's about contending seriously, about positioning Washington as a true contender in the NFC for years to come. Now, it's worth noting that this kind of deal isn't just about immediate impact, it's a long-term investment. Lamar Jackson is only 28, and if he stays healthy, he could be the face of the franchise for the next 5 years. His addition would also send a message to the rest of the league. The Commanders mean business. This could be the start of a dynasty, similar to what the Kansas City Chiefs did with Patrick Mahomes or the Eagles with Jalen Hurts in 2025. The idea of Lamar Jackson running this offense, with a combination of his rushing ability and improved passing, could be the spark that ignites a new era of success in Washington. Of course, like any major trade, there are questions and uncertainties. Will Baltimore really part ways with Lamar? Will Washington be willing to part with a first-round pick in 2027? And how will Lamar adapt to a new system after spending his entire career with the Ravens? These are questions that only time will answer, but the signs point to this being a real possibility. The NFL offseason is always full of surprises, and this one could be one of the biggest. One thing's for sure, if the Commanders pull this off, it would send shockwaves through the league. It would instantly make Washington a team to watch and drastically increase their chances of making a deep playoff run. The NFC East is already one of the most competitive divisions in football, with teams like the Eagles and Cowboys always vying for supremacy. But adding Lamar Jackson to the mix could tip the scales in Washington's favor. Imagine the highlight reels, the big plays, and the sheer excitement of watching him break down defenses with his legs and arm. And while some fans might be cautious, after all, Lamar's injury history and the risk of giving up a first-round pick, others see it as a bold statement of intent. The Commanders are clearly aiming higher, and this move could be the catalyst for a new chapter in their history. When you look at the bigger picture, it's about building a team that's not just competitive but a legitimate Super Bowl contender. The kind of team that can go toe-to-toe with the best, with a quarterback who can change the game with a single play. In conclusion, the potential trade for Lamar Jackson is one of the most exciting developments the Washington Commanders have faced in recent years. It's a move that could redefine their franchise, take them deep into the playoffs, and perhaps even give them that elusive Super Bowl ring they've been chasing. Whether it happens or not, it's clear that the NFL world is watching closely, and Commanders fans should be ready for what could be a historic offseason. This is the kind of move that could turn the tide and set Washington up for a new era of dominance, one led by a dual-threat quarterback who's hungry for greatness. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YOUTUBE algorithm to keep recommending the latest Washington Commanders news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, Washington Commanders fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this potential Lamar Jackson deal? Do you think it's the move that could finally put Washington over the top? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the team. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Washington Commanders news. The offseason is heating up, and this story is just getting started. Keep the faith, and let's see where this wild ride takes us.